The world saw Osama bin Laden as a shadowy figure in Afghan caves, a relic sustained by ideology. But behind this image was a modern, multinational enterprise. Al-Qaeda's power came from a sophisticated global financial network, not just faith. Before 9/11, a web of money was already in place, designed to generate and move cash in secrecy. This network funneled funds through businesses, charities, and ancient money systems, making Al-Qaeda a ghost in the financial machine. To understand 9/11, we must understand the money that made it possible. Al-Qaeda's annual budget reached $30 million, funding camps, weapons, and a global presence. Bin Laden, son of a billionaire, applied business principles to terror, building a resilient structure. The story of Al-Qaeda's finances is one of deception and exploitation, turning tools of commerce into weapons. It was not just zealots in distant lands, but a global corporation of terror, with bin Laden as its CEO. Its survival depended on its bottom line. This is the secret story of Al-Qaeda's wealth. Al-Qaeda's financial roots trace back to the 1980s Afghan war. Bin Laden arrived not as a fighter, but as a financier, using family wealth and Gulf donors to support the Mujahideen. He learned that war was fought with money as much as with guns. Bin Laden funded recruitment, travel, and training, building a logistical pipeline for fighters. He kept detailed records, a database that became the foundation of Al-Qaeda. In 1988, as the Soviets withdrew, he formalized this network, calling it Al-Qaeda, the base. The war taught him that a well-funded organization could challenge superpowers. He left Afghanistan with a cadre of loyal veterans and a proven financial model. Money could be raised, channeled through informal networks, and used for strategic goals. Bin Laden's machine of war was not dismantled. It was ready for a new conflict. The Afghan war ended, but Al-Qaeda's financial engine was just beginning. The real work was about to start. After the Gulf War, bin Laden was exiled and found sanctuary in Sudan. There he transformed Al-Qaeda into a self-sustaining enterprise. Sudan became his corporate base, where he built a network of real, profitable businesses. Companies like Wadi al-Aqiq, Laden International, and Hijra Construction generated revenue and provided cover for operatives. These businesses moved people, equipment, and money under the guise of legitimate commerce. Bin Laden's model intertwined business with terror logistics, making the network hard to detect. Hundreds were employed, many doubling as Al-Qaeda members. To outsiders, it looked like foreign investment. In reality, it was a headquarters for global jihad. This period made Al-Qaeda financially resilient and nearly invisible. The corporate empire funded terror in plain sight. Sudan was the training ground for Al-Qaeda's financial sophistication. As scrutiny increased, Al-Qaeda turned to Hawala, a centuries-old trust-based money transfer system. Hawala allowed vast sums to move globally without bank accounts or paper trails. A donor in Saudi Arabia could send money to an operative in Germany with no traceable transaction. Al-Qaeda integrated about a dozen key hawaladas into its core financial infrastructure. This made the network resilient and nearly invisible to law enforcement. Hawala blended the ancient with the modern, satellite phones for communication, Hawala for money. The system's honor code and lack of records made it a perfect tool for clandestine operations. U.S. investigators found Hawala nearly impossible to penetrate. Al-Qaeda's cash flowed like an underground river, hidden, untraceable, and essential to its survival. The Hawala system was the backbone of al-Qaeda's financial secrecy. It kept the money and the organization moving. Zakat, or charitable giving, is a sacred duty in Islam, fueling a vast network of Islamic charities. Bin Laden exploited this goodwill, infiltrating legitimate charities to siphon funds for terror. Insiders diverted donations, sometimes half, to al-Qaeda, while records appeared normal. Donors believed they were helping the needy. In reality, their money funded violence. This strategy weaponized compassion, cloaking terror finance as humanitarian aid. The scale was massive, with thousands of charities and little oversight. Investigating them was fraught with legal and cultural challenges. Al-Qaeda turned one of Islam's pillars into a financial weapon. Charity became a shield for terror. Al-Qaeda's financial empire required careful management. Sheikh Qari Saeed, a trained accountant, served as its CFO, overseeing the finance committee. He maintained detailed records, tracking spending on operations, propaganda, and support for families. The network operated with corporate discipline and strict compartmentalization. Each facilitator knew only their role, protecting the system if one part was compromised. Cash couriers, trusted men posing as businessmen or pilgrims, moved funds across borders in small, undetectable amounts. These couriers were the final link, delivering money directly to operatives. The bureaucracy of terror ran with chilling efficiency. Al-Qaeda's financial management made it resilient and adaptable. The money always reached its target. In 1996, Sudan expelled bin Laden, but Afghanistan, now under Taliban control, offered a new sanctuary. Bin Laden struck a deal. In exchange for millions in funding and fighters, the Taliban gave al-Qaeda protection. This alliance provided al-Qaeda with a sovereign base to operate freely. Training camps flourished, recruits arrived from around the world, and operations could be planned without interference. The Taliban received money and military support. Al-Qaeda gained a safe haven. Afghanistan became a terrorist superstate, shielded from outside threats. Bin Laden's financial network, perfected over years, now had the ultimate protection. Money flowed in from donors, businesses, and charities, managed by his financial committee. The alliance allowed al-Qaeda to finalize plans for 9/11, secure in its sanctuary. The financial machine was now unstoppable. The money had bought them a kingdom, and the world would soon feel its impact. This was the true power behind the terror.